Hey friends, I've got some great news today. My name is Dan Keller, branch manager and lead mortgage advisor at New American Funding. We've got a loan program that was just released to us 2 days ago, I think it was, that is allowing first-time home buyers, get this, first-time home buyers to actually be cash buyers in today's real estate market. So instead of them getting beat out, first-time home buyers are getting clobbered. They have been getting clobbered for the last 2 years in our housing market in Seattle and the greater Seattle area, actually Washington State. So the first-time home buyers that had 5% or 10% or even 20% down are having a hard time competing right now. Well, New American Funding, I really got to commend them for being forward-thinking, starting up a company within their company to basically be an all-cash advocate for a first-time home buyer to help them compete in this market. I'm gonna spend 5 minutes going through the ins and outs of this program, and then after this, I'll give on Instagram, I'll share a link. If you're a real estate professional, you're gonna wanna take it's a 60-minute class to bring you up to speed on this program. Plus, if you use it, it's required. But if you're a buyer, or if you know of a home buyer in today's market that could take advantage of this program, I'm gonna give you some information on what to do next to learn more. So the 5-minute overview of this program, I wanna start off by one of my favorite quotes of all time by, God rest his soul, Tommy Lasorda. He passed away this last year. He said, there are 3 types of people in life: those who watch it happen, those who make things happen, and those who wake up and say, what the hell just happened? And when I hear that quote, I think about this program right here. We as mortgage loan officers, real estate professionals, can sit around right now and watch our first-time home buyers, watch our clients just get whooped. Or we can do something about it. Rick and Patty at New American Funding have done something about it, and it's called the Buyer Accepted Program. So they launched this program first off for people that owned homes already, that were having a hard time buying their next home contingent, or having to sell their house to tap into their equity in order to buy their next home. So this program originated to provide a solution for homeowners that had equity. It took off so fast and it gained such a great reputation in the local markets that they launched in, they decided to add on to it and make it available for everyone. So today's focus, I've done a podcast and I've done an Instagram Live, I believe, on the Buyer Accepted Program for homeowners. Today, I'm talking about the Buyer Accepted Program for first-time home buyers or home buyers in general. So let's start with a real quick overview. There's basically 5 steps to this program. Number 1, the first-time home buyer has to get fully pre-approved with me. And we don't even stop there. You have to get fully underwritten approved. So we're verifying assets, we're verifying employment, we're doing a full upfront underwrite. So that's number 1. Number 2, your real estate professional goes out and submits an offer on a house. This is an all-cash offer. So even though you have 5% or 10% down, we're not worried about that right now. Your real estate agent is gonna go and negotiate an all-cash offer on the house that you want, okay? Step number 3, your all-cash offer is accepted. Now what New American Funding does, or the Buyer Accepted Program does, is rents that house back to you, the buyer, until you're ready to get the financing to move into that, okay? Remember, you've already been fully underwritten approved. So at this point, it's just a matter of allowing the process to run its course. That could be 10 days, it could be 15 days, it could be 30 days. If you had a house to sell, it could be 60, it could be up to 90 days going back to the original program. But for a first-time home buyer, you can move in right away and just pay a rent back to the Buyer Accepted Program at New American Funding until you're actually ready to fund the loan to purchase that house from New American Funding. So step 4, you move in. Step 5, you buy it back. Now, what I mean by buying it back is you're already approved for the mortgage to buy that particular property with the money that you said you had down. So at that point in time, you're already approved for the home loan. It's just like a typical mortgage. So now what I want to do now is talk about, hey Dan, this sounds really good. And I've talked to probably 100 real estate professionals in the last, week and a half about this program. They all say, what's the catch? So if there were a catch to the program or a requirement for the program outside of your traditional lending guidelines, there's two things you need to know. One, even though you're putting an all-cash offer on a house, the borrower, the buyer, is required to put a 3% earnest money deposit into escrow. Now, that goes to cover if anything goes wrong, if in the end you choose not to buy the house or you lose your job or something happens, there's earnest money, there's skin in the game. Okay, so the first thing is a 3% earnest money deposit that's held in escrow. You know how earnest money works. All of that money goes towards your down payment and your closing costs. So let's just say, for example, we have a first-time home buyer buying $1 million home, putting 10% down, a little over 10% down, okay? So 3% of their 10% down that they've already verified is just simply going to go into escrow. So let's just say that's $30,000, approximately $30,000. That's going to go into escrow and be held, okay? The second catch is the fee for the program. So the fee for the program in Washington State is 1.5%. So on $1 million home, you take 1 million, times it by 1.5%, and that's the fee for the program. And that fee is rolled into the loan or the purchase when you finance that home, okay? Those are the only two catches. Everything outside of that, you get today's going interest rate. Your mortgage approval is the same as though you were just applying for a regular home loan with us, but we've already done it up front. So I want to close with this. This is the game-changing aspect of this loan program. So for FHA, for example, this is incredible. Addison, who's a fellow mortgage professional down the Portland market, we did a Facebook Live last night, and through StreamYard, they sent out updated guidelines on this program. And I wish I could share it behind me, but I'm just gonna repeat this for you, and I'll take it really slow. So for conventional mortgages, the minimum down payment required for this loan program, we can go as low as 3%, okay? 3% down. So that's just your conventional Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac loan program with a minimum 620 FICO score. I think the greatest aspect of this loan program serves two main people. Number one, our veterans. This allows our veterans who have been pinned as having high-risk loans, tougher loans to get approved, loans that don't appraise, loans that take longer to close. This now allows our veterans to buy a house with zero down. This is absolute game changer. I hate saying that word because I think it's overbaked, but this is a program that will allow so many more of our veterans that have already earned the right to own a home. They've already earned their down payment in war or in combat or in service to buy a house in a very competitive market. Minimum FICO score, 620 for veterans. The other group that I think this is going to serve is our high-end clientele. And when I say high-end, everything in King County right now seems to be high-end. So this allows you to buy up to, so for example, with our jumbo loan program, 20% down, it allows you to buy or allows you to attain a mortgage up to $2 million. So we will, let's say, you find a $3 million home, you put $1 million down, we can do a loan up to $2 million on this loan program. It's absolutely incredible. I think the two demographics that this is going to serve the most is going to be our veterans, and it's going to be the jumbo market. But it applies to conventional conforming loans. And then lastly, our FHA. Now, FHA has a guideline. It has an anti-flip guideline that requires you to wait 90 days to purchase that home back from New American Funding. So what they've done is they've required you to put down 15% if you're using FHA as the loan program. Again, minimum FICO score 620. And I forgot to mention this with the jumbo loan program, minimum FICO score 680. So I'm going to close with this. You want to know more information, you want to learn more about this program, or you want to actually utilize this program, one, you want to reach out to me. Number two, you've got to take a training. So buyers have to take a 30-minute training. I think it's a 30 to 60-minute training. Real estate agents, you have to take the training. I'm hosting a lunch and earn course on this in the next 2 weeks. That's not an official training. It's kind of like this, an overview, a Q&A session. There's a lot of questions around this program, but you too have to take a 1-hour training. And then the mortgage professional, myself, I'm already licensed. I've already done the training. So I'm ready to go, but all three parties involved in this transaction must take the training so that there are no questions once we get into the trenches and battling for our clients. I hope this was helpful. Instagram Live. Reach out to me, DM me if you need anything. If you're watching this online, reach out to me. I am excited to share more information on this program. This is, like I said, this is going to provide so many solutions in the marketplace for our real estate professionals, for our first-time home buyers, and for people that own homes that are just struggling to sell that home and then figure out how they're going to buy their next home because of the competitive nature of the market. Appreciate you all. See you next time.